Yo, what's up, guys? Good morning, good morning. Wow, my computer is so laggy, guys. I cannot wait to get a new MacBook. So, let's just go over what we're seeing on the day today. Obviously, we're breaking out of the highs that I told you guys would probably happen overnight yesterday. If we look at the hourly, we came down. This was yesterday. Turtle soup, and we had a big gap up, which is interesting. I don't know what this was for. Maybe there was news last night that I'm missing, but we had a huge gap up, obviously, and now we are trading at all-time highs again. My guess now is that we are going to come down and trade into the 50% of the range, which you can see should happen here. Back down to the order block. Look at the 3-minute chart. So, yeah, guys, this actually doesn't look half bad for a short. Potentially down to this low. I'm going to mark it in red. If we can close below the 3 and maybe the 5, well, we have two 5-minute bullish fair value gaps here. So this is a little bit tougher to call as a short because we could bounce from any of these. On the 3-minute, it looks cleaner, obviously, because there's not like any obvious fair value gaps like there were on the 5. The other thing that can happen is we can get a really nice bounce from here. But again, guys, already I can see, I said I would go live for fun today, but I already can see that the PA is not as good as I would like it to be. So just a forewarning that that is the case. It's not as good as I thought it would be right now. So what will probably be best here is just to wait for some other type of setup to form. The order blocks are holding. We do have a 1-minute fair value gap here. So if we inverse this, we could potentially come back and target these highs here. But already I'm telling you, this does not look like an A+ structure in price. So I'm just looking here, guys, because there's not really much that I see right now on NQ. AMD is one of the stocks that I'm looking to start adding more heavily soon. We're trading into this monthly fair value gap. I think this is a weekly even. No, it's not. It's a 3-month, is it? It's a 3-month fair value gap. We have sell side liquidity below here at 121. Then we have another tiny order block, and we have a monthly fair value gap below it. So I think my main ads will be here in this box if we get it. I don't know if we will, but... Yo, Fears, good morning, bro. You take any trades today, Fear? So guys, I'm looking, just quickly, briefly looking at NQ here. Again, we do have this 1-minute inverse here. We're trading below the 50% level of this leg, right? If we draw it out once again. Right here. So we are trading below. We're in discount of this leg. It's me K. Is this which is me K is this? Is it Kashitz? Kashdiz? Sorry if I is it just regular K that's in my Discord? It feels like the name keeps changing. Unless it's somebody different. So you guys can see again, we're trading at the 50% of this leg. This 1-minute inverses, then we're probably going to go back up to this high. How do I feel about this 1-minute inverse? I think it's decent. We took liquidity. The only thing that I don't like today, guys, is that there's literally no news. So I'm going to go to the Discord again so you guys can see. So if you go over to my Discord and you go over to the economic calendar section, for those of you who don't know, we literally have nothing today. So I don't see any news. There's a lot of speakers, if I'm not mistaken. Let's go to Forex Factory again and double check because I think the picture is cut off. But if we go to Forex Factory, there's G7 meetings today and import prices, which just already happened at 8:30. So I don't know. G7 meeting days can be a little bit funky from my past experiences, but I would say probably just to study this woman at IFEG. I don't think that it's going to be AA plus. Caught the nice 926 bull. Let me look at the 2 and the 3 on this. Yeah, nothing that I really liked here, to be honest. We swept liquidity, but there was a change in market structure here, but nothing that really gave me a good entry. You can see here, guys, also there's a 3 and a 2-minute IFEG here. Not 100% A plus for me, as far as longs are concerned. My guess is that we'll hit these 2 levels now, but I don't think that this is worthy of taking on a live account, personally. Okay, yeah, it is K from the Discord. K, can you type out how to pronounce your name? Like, for example, for me, it's Ophir. So I tell people it's O-H-O and then the word fear, F-E-A-R. So just like fear's Y. So I want to know how to pronounce it because I don't want to just call you K. I mean, if you're fine with that, that's fine. But I also don't want to mispronounce your real name. You know what I mean? Wow, Tesla is pumping, guys. Look at this. $400 and almost $30 a share right now. Riot, this one, guys, if you are still in this, I would definitely say to move your stop to break even. Again, our ads were like at $9.20, $9.50, $9.90. So we're in this blue-gray, or this blue zone right here. Where can I see Riot going? I think Riot is going all the way up to these 3 sets of highs here. 18, 19, 20. We just have to see Bitcoin really start to rip. End phase, I'm still waiting to see this close above. AMD, guys, I'm looking to add more heavily soon. Any thoughts on meme coins? And if so, do you think that the do you think about the Hawk meme coin? Oh, hell no. First of all, I don't trade meme coins. One of my friends was in Chill Guy, so I'll show you guys. I actually gave him a call. So he doesn't trade ICT, but he always texts me for advice on coins, and I'm telling you guys, it works for everything, but definitely less great for coins. But there was a time, it was right over here, I think. Where was it? Right here. So he was looking at Chill Guy on November 24th, and I told him that once this hourly inverses, that you should get a good long. Your stop to break even would be in this fair value gap right here. So he took a long on this candle. He was screaming at me, saying, "Oh, I'm in drawdown." I said, "Okay, bro, but the stop is going to be a close back below the hourly fair value gap." He held it, and I told him to take profits at all-time highs. He said no. Then he kept screaming at me and saying, "Haha, you don't know how to trade," even though he took my advice, and then he lost it all. So he let it go all the way down. But I told him, I said, what you should probably do is take a partial at the first internal high and leave runners for Valhalla, for heaven. If it gets there, great. And he was like, no, I'm holding the whole thing. And here he was showing me, like, I can't believe I almost listened to you and sold my whole position. I said, no, you should sold half. And of course, he allowed it to go all the way down. But Katiz, is that right, Kay? The Hawk Tuah girl scammed everyone and she was in profit of 5 million. It's crazy how we have someone getting so much fame for 2 words. Bro, it's crazy. Yeah, she like took full advantage of her okay guys, so you see that 1 minute inversed and we did hit the internal high. But again, that was an A plus to me, so I wouldn't really take that on my personal account. But yeah, Hawk Tuah girl, she definitely took advantage of her situation the best that she could. Did you trade the Hawk Tuah coin? Don't tell me you actually traded that. I really think people that dump their net worth into like meme coins like that, like celebrity meme coins, they deserve to lose their money. I'm sorry, but that they're just so dumb. I think it's the most low degen brain thing to do. I really do. But you guys can see here that chill guy hourly IFEGs worked. So in this case, this hourly IFEG worked all the way back to this high and this high and this high. So you could have taken a, how much, let's see what kind of percent winner this was. That was a, what? Only a, oh, hold on. I'm using the magnet tool, that's why. A 60% winner. Not too shabby. I mean, for a meme coin, it's not that great, but it's a good trade in my opinion. AMD. So yeah, guys, I am looking to add this. I will call it in the Discord when I add it more full size, but I'm looking for a full position, ideally below 121, and then maybe in this fair value gap at 116. But I do think right now is a good time to start adding if you haven't yet. No, just the K is silent, so it's just tiz, stiz, stiz. Is that right, K? Stiz? Sorry. Okay. Oh, thankfully, no. I knew from the start that she's just a puppet that the investors are using for things like this. Oh, 100%. And she was in it for sure. She was definitely in on it. I'm telling you guys right now. Like, what do you think that she's not financially incentivized to do these things? Every celebrity that runs a meme coin ends up dumping. They're down 99% within like a day or something. By the way, do you hold anything in Tesla? Fears. My biggest, bro. If you were in the Discord like just a few months ago, I was telling everybody, like everybody, my family, my friends, anyone in the Discord, that they needed to start adding Tesla below 200. It's my biggest position. My biggest ads came here at the sell side liquidity at 150.237. So I was adding in this general area, like on this down leg. But then when we came back down here and turtle souped inside of a fair value gap, I was adding the most heavy. I added again at like 175, at 200. And now we're just letting it run. I'm holding this for 10 to 20 years. I may take a partial on some of my position. I'm still deciding if I should do that in the short term. But for now, all I'm doing is selling calls. But yeah, viewers, it's my biggest position. Bitcoin is my second biggest position. Speaking of which, let's check out Bitcoin right now. Trading at 101. Very nice. Okay, guys, so you can see on days like today. Wow, that's amazing, man. By the way, is your name pronounced Ophir? Sorry if I'm getting that wrong. It's pronounced Ophir. It's spelled Ophir. But yeah, you can just call me Oph, whatever you guys want. But yeah, so super happy about that. If you guys look back in my Discord, probably, let me go back to Tesla quick here. Yeah, look back at my posts around April. You can look in August. You can look in October. All these areas I was talking about adding Tesla, selling puts on Tesla. And yeah. Fears, nice to know. Oh, I'm Jay. All right, we got O and J. We got OJ in the chat. Okay, guys, so this 3 minute, again, looks like it's going to inverse here, but nothing in this price channel that I'm seeing right here is A+. Like this 1 minute, it did work, but again, guys, just because of the nature of today, the fact that we're at all-time highs, I was a little bit more hesitant to take something like this. I mean, this liquidity got swept, yes, but it's not like A+. We're not delivering out of like a really nice fair value gap as well. The structure here doesn't give me a lot of confidence that there's a obvious draw on liquidity. So, so far, I don't see anything A+. Yeah, we got OJ and K. That's right. OJ and K, bro. Dude, Tesla keeps pushing. So I have sold calls on Tesla, guys. Expiring. These are expiring on January 17th. So why did I choose January 17th for my covered calls? We have earnings on the 22nd. So basically what I'm accounting for is potentially if there's some crazy news released on earnings day that shoots the stock higher, then I'm basically protecting myself from potential upside. But I sold the 600 covered calls, which means from here to get to 600, we're looking at a 39%, almost 40% increase in Tesla stock price in 37 days. If you think that's going to happen, the odds of that happening are like slim to none. It is possible, in which case I'll roll my position, but I was paid like $315 per contract for selling that option. Now I should be down on that because we're pushing quite strongly. I'm down like 30% on the option call, but one of two things will happen. Either I get paid $315 per covered call I sold, or I get to sell Tesla at $600 a share. It's either one or the other. So, I mean, I'll get paid the $315 regardless. So it's really a great way of making extra monthly income. So just selling 2 covered calls there is getting you almost $700. So yeah. So the more money you have, obviously the more money you're going to make with this, but how are you guys doing this morning? By the way, guys, did anybody take any trades today? Did anyone take this 1 minute inverse? Also, if you guys see this 1 minute inverse, you'll probably know. Let's see if anyone can guess or can if anyone knows, why is this 1 minute inverse not a good inverse to take, even if it works? Let's say this candle closes above. Why is this not a good inverse? See what responses we get. For those of you who are trying to learn IFEGs the way that I trade. So far it looks like it's being used as a bearish fair value gap to continue further down. There, K, bro, you're learning, bro. See this, guys? So K joined my Discord maybe, I don't know, a few weeks ago, or maybe a month ago or something, and he was like somewhat knowledgeable on ICT concepts, but didn't really understand IFEGs yet. And so far I've coached him twice. And I'm not saying that my coaching is good, because that's not the case. He was able to catch on so quickly just based off simple explanations. Like this is somewhat complex to understand, and not everybody sees it. But first guy to answer. So good job, Kay. That was a perfect answer. No obvious sweep of liquidity. We're not delivering from anywhere. So when you see an IFEG that looks good, guys, always first thing you should do is look for liquidity. Where are we delivering from? Are we delivering from a bullish fair value gap? Like in here, is there a bullish fair value gap? No, these are all just wick candles. It's not obvious. There's nothing that sticks out to me. Here, we did sweep liquidity and we were coming out of a 1 minute fair value gap, but it wasn't great enough for me to really like, especially because we had just come up from all-time highs. Just didn't look A+ to me personally, but this one definitely not, because we're not sweeping any liquidity. So great job, Kay, on that. So the 5 minute, guys, okay. So here's another thing. So if you go to the higher time frames now, this is something that I saw, right? We are delivering from this 5 minute fair value gap now. So we did initially deliver from it here as well. So this was probably the better IFEG, but I mean, it still could work because we are delivering from a 5, but I would prefer to have not seen the 5 get traded into yet. Like I'd prefer to see it on this leg and not have it be filled. If it hasn't been filled yet, it makes the PD array stronger. Like the fact that we had a bullish reaction from the 5 and now we're coming back down into it again tells me it's not as A+. But let's say this never happened and this came down, I would definitely look for a 1 minute long here. So let's say we sweep this liquidity just by a tick and then we have a huge bullish reaction. I'm going to say that this fair value gap will get balanced, and then we'd leave a runner to this high. So it'd be about a 1-to-1 trade. So I'd be happy to take this. Eh, look at the RR here, guys. It's not great. It'd be a 1 minute close back below here. If you guys wanted to try this, you could, but yeah, it's not the best RR, but nonetheless, not a terrible trade. If we got a sweep of this liquidity by a tick and then we inverse, it would be better. So guys, pay attention to AMD. Set your alerts for this if we get below 121. This is when I'm going to start adding a lot more heavily into AMD. So here's something that I potentially like. We have a tiny 5 minute fair value gap here. So if we can deliver out of this cleanly, and then we inverse this 1 minute, I think that'll be a good long. And that's something I will take on my funded account. And then it's nice because your stop can go to break even right here. And I would hold this with one contract up to this fair value gap and then one contract up to this high. All right, I'll be heading out. See you later, K and O. Jay is out. All right, Jay, have a good one, bro. Have a great weekend. And obviously, you guys will see me post the economic calendar on Sunday, and we'll decide what days are going to be good to trade next week. But I think we'll have a great week next week. This week was a little tough to trade, unfortunately. But listen, you're not going to be profitable or have amazing weeks every single week with day trading. Again, my swing trading and my long-term investing is going crazy right now, which I'm very happy with. But hopefully we have a much more successful day trading week next week. Yeah, stay blessed, Jay. Or Jay, sorry, I'm getting confused. Stay blessed, Jay. Have a great weekend, guys. I'll probably be on until 9 a.m. my time, which is another hour and 30 minutes or so. Just to see if we get anything really special. But if not, guys, then we'll just kind of watch the market, but we'll see what we get here. So if we, again, guys, deliver out of this 5 minute and we get a very bullish reaction here, I don't think that's half bad with your stop to break even at this high. So let's see what we get. Now, we do have a 2 minute, so I really would prefer for the 2 to get closed above. Yeah, this is a tough call, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Let me check and see if there's any equal lows anywhere. Give me a second here, guys, because if there's like a big set of equal lows, maybe this isn't the best thing to take. Don't really see much. But I still don't think this is half bad. I'll take it with one contract on MNQ. I don't think it's worthy enough of taking huge size because this looks like a sell model too, guys. So if you look at this, looks like a potential sell model down to internal sell side. So if this 5 minute inverses to the downside, guys, I think that this low is coming, just a forewarning. And again, there is no 1 minute IFPG that formed here. You can see here that we never closed above this one, so there was no entry for long anyways. Okay, so still a bullish reaction here, guys, out of this 5 minute, which I like to see. Again, if we're able to close above this on the 1 and the 2, I think I'll take this long. But I want to see the 2 close as well. Right, we do have a 2 minute fair value gap, so keep in mind that this is important to see for us to get then retrade back to this high. Okay, so very bullish reaction here, guys, in discount of the range. I think at minimum this high should come. In fact, if this 2-minute inverse is here, guys, I will move my stop to break even at this internal high. So my target on this, guys, will be this tiny 1-minute fair value gap right here. And again, I'm waiting for the 2-minute to inverse. Stop loss will be a close back below the 2. Okay, so pretty big rejection there on the 2-minute. So we have to wait for another 2-minute candle to close above here. Stop to break even at this high or this one, whichever you prefer. And then my take profit will be in this 1-minute FVG. So you can see, guys, immediately we're getting a very bearish reaction from that too, which tells me that we'll probably continue down here. There is a chance, I've seen this happen before, where we come and balance this first and then we dump. It just depends. This model, the structure of candles, has a lot of different scenarios that can play out, like any structure. So your job is to find out which model is playing out, which algorithmic pattern is playing out. Because, like I've told you guys before, I believe the market runs on an algorithm, and it just decides based on the day, based on auction prices, based on longs, calls, put ratios. It decides which leg of price to take to make the most amount of people lose money. That's my thesis on it, my theory. So again, if we see a very bullish reaction here and close above, that will be my signal to go long. Stop to break even at either this high or this high, whichever you prefer. And then I would hold a runner to the next bearish PD array holding down price, which in this case is this 1-minute. The reason I would move my stop to break even here or here is that if the algorithm is this deciding just to go up and rebalance this 1-minute again, then we could potentially reject from there. So it's protecting your position by moving it to break even while this is getting balanced. And then we can hold the position up to here to make a potential profit. But you can see, guys, so far, bearish reaction out of the 2-minute. And if this 5-minute closes below, I think that this low is next. Now, I would never short in discount, right? We're in discount of the leg. So I wouldn't take this short. I don't think the R is good enough, but I do think that it would potentially work. Aziz, good morning, bro. How are you? Aziz, did you take any trades today? I know you were sneaky with it yesterday. Guys, and keep in mind, I'm definitely not going to be sizing fully today if I even do take a trade because it's the G7 summit and there's just people speaking. Wow, Tesla's at 4:30. That's wild. Aziz took a trade during Asia session. Are these perfect equal highs here? There are perfect equal highs here, guys. So maybe Aziz took some kind of a 1-minute inverse down here. Asia low plus 15-minute IFEG or 15-minute FEG. Whew, look at this candle, guys. That's crazy. Target was Asia high. Yeah, there are equal highs. Good, bro. All right, let's just go back here, guys. So, guys, if we get a bullish reaction here again, we form an order block plus a 1-minute and a 2-minute, then I'll take this long up to this internal buy side. And again, I'm not going to size fully today because of the fact it's the G7 summit and there's a bunch of speakers, I'm sure. It's just not like a day known for good price action, so. But again, if this 5-minute closes below, right, what do we expect? This is the last bullish PD array holding up price, so we are likely to come down and take out this low. All right, guys, really quick while we're waiting for this 5-minute candle close, let's take a look at Aziz's trade. So there was a tiny 15-minute FEG at the bottom of Asia session. By the way, guys, my Asia session might be different to yours. I go from 1800 to 24, and then from 24 to 6 a.m. is my other 15-minute, my other session. So that would be my London. There is a volume imbalance here. I don't see a tiny 15. This volume imbalance. So this gap, guys, it's not called a fair value gap. It's called a volume imbalance for those of you who are new to ICT. It just basically is like a void in price where there's just a gap. And so the market came down. You can see it came down into the fair value gap. What, this 15-minute? Tell me the time, Azzy. Go to the 15-minute chart and tell me what time your fair value gap is. It'll be a lot easier for me instead of us playing hide and seek. All right, guys, so the 5-minute looks like it's about to close. Below, again, I would never take this because the RR is super bad. We're in discount of the leg. Doesn't really make sense, but we should go back down to this low if we close below on the 5-minute. Wow, AMD is really dumping, guys. 126 a share now. Okay, so wait. Oh, this is a 2-minute. Sorry, never mind. So the 2-minute chart, we did not close below yet. 3-minute chart, we're still waiting to close below this 3-minute FEG, which closes in 1 minute, 30 seconds actually. But we really want to wait for the 5 because that's the true PD array that's holding up price right now. You guys want to try it short with 1 contract if we get it? Take profit would be at this low. Nah, I'm not going to do it, guys. This is a funded account. Sorry. So funny how Tesla's pushing. It's at like 430 a share, and then NQ is just dumping. Not going to do it. Yeah, I definitely agree with you, Kay. It's not worth it. Also, we've got less than a minute till the candle close, but just study the price here, guys, and see what happens. But just know in theory that if this closes below, we should go down to the next level of liquidity, which in this case is 21,775 and 75 cents. It's just that the RR is not great here, and we're in discount of the leg, so to me it's not really A+, but should still work if we get the close below, which it looks likely to happen now. Excuse me. Whoa. Z 2315, 2345. Hold on 1 second. So guys, let's study this right now and see what happens on this candle. Again, it's G7 Summit, so we could have some kind of crazy manipulation where we go back up here and then we go down. But in theory, this should be where we go down to the low. And nice candle, and okay, so we just almost got there. We swept this liquidity, guys. In this case, because of how low we are in the range, because my entry was here, I would have taken a partial at one of these lows, but probably this one, just in case we reverse price, because there's cases where they bring it all the way down to sell side. Okay, so we just dumped. There is a chance that they go all the way up to sell side, all the way to close to sell side, and then they'll bring it up, and then they'll bring it down again. So, okay, so let's look at Aziz's entry. 2315 to 2345. That's 3 15-minute candles. Okay, so we're showing you the 2315. This one. This tiny 15, you went long in here. And then you rode it up all the way through. In my book, it's London session, but all the way up to Asia high. That's good. I like the trade, especially because we entered into a gap. What I probably would have done personally, again, this is what I'm saying. Like all models point to the same thing, guys. But this set of fair value gaps here, I mean, there's a tiny one right there. I don't know. I don't really like it personally, but let me look at the 5 quick. Yeah, so maybe once this 5-minute closed above right here, I would have taken an entry, stopped to break even at this high, and then you never really would have gotten stopped out on the trade. You could have held it all the way. Ooh, big dump, guys. Big dump on NQ. So let's try and see where this is targeting. So what I'm going to say here is because of this huge 15-minute inverse. Wow, we didn't actually close below on it, did we? No, we closed right at it on the 15. But this should take us all the way down to this low and midnight. I thought it took the first low, maybe try on the first 15-minute. Tristan, good morning, Tristan. Look at the 936 fair value gap and all the touches and bounces. So Tristan loves the first fair value gap that forms at market open. Let's look at the 936 candle. Yeah, we touched in it, we bounced. We touched in it, we bounced. Here, we kind of just swept below it, but now we use it as rejection. So that is true. That is definitely true. So we're very close to midnight. And I think what will probably happen here is we'll come down and we'll touch midnight. And then you guys can see, obviously this 15 is now about to close below, but the next sweep the market should target this low. And we should come down probably and fill this gap. Again, if we get like some kind of an A+ 1 minute short, let's say we come back into here, and then we get a nice 1 minute short, then I can take that. But let's see what we get. Tristan, I bought every time it was bullish and shorted when it inverted. Very nice, bro. Very nice. There's also new day opening gaps. Yeah, personally, guys, I don't really use new day opening gaps. I just use new week opening gaps. But if you have a model that new day opening gaps work for, then by all means, use them. It's just not really part of my model personally. Got the 5. Tristan, I think I'm going to just make that an IFG my model. Bro, if you find something that repeats day after day after day and you become so good at it that you can recognize when it's going to work, when it's not, depending on high time frame bias, use it. Like that's everything. The most important things I found, guys, that liquidity and inverse fair value gaps are the best model for me. And as long as I am in sync with the high time frame draw on liquidity, most of the time I get a good trade. If I ever go against the high time frame liquidity, I lose. And that's what I've found. So like, for example, the other day when I took 2 losses in one day, both of them were shorts at all-time highs. And I know that I shouldn't be doing that. And as a result, I lost. It rarely happens to me, but sometimes like the scalping will get the best of me, and as unfortunately I'm forced to close the trade out. Okay, so if this 1 minute inverses, guys, we should go back and balance this 1 minute. So like right now, okay, this is something that makes me feel like it would be a good long entry. at least up to this high. However, we have to realize it does go against the higher time frame bias right now. I mean, we are bouncing out of an hourly fair value gap, don't get me wrong, but it looks like we're probably drawing to this gap. So if you take this long, you have to recognize that we can easily just enter here and reverse. So like if I buy one here, my take profit would have to be at this high. And of course, you'd have to wait for the 1 minute to inverse to take it. But let me see if this closes above. Yeah, so we never got to close above here, guys, so I wouldn't be able to take this entry. Right, but in theory now we should go up to this high to balance this 1 minute, and then maybe continue lower if we're bearish. Now, if this 1 minute completely inverses, guys, I think we're going back up to this this fair value gap right here in the 1. So I knew it would inverse at some point because of the huge opening gap. Fair enough. Okay, guys, so look on the 5. Not actually the 5. Let's look on the 3. So if this 3 minute fair value gap inverses right here, I'll take this long. Because that signifies to me that we're going to have a change in market structure back to the upside. Where are we delivering from? We're delivering from a bullish hourly fair value gap. We wicked. We took some liquidity here. Did we sweep this or no? So we swept this by 1 tick. If you guys look here. Look how we swept this by 1 tick and we got a huge bullish reaction. Let me look on the 15 and see what that is. Yeah, so we swept liquidity. We're bouncing out of a 15-minute, tiny 15-minute fair value gap. We do have midnight below, but we already touched it a few times, like in the Asia session. So if the 3 minute inverses, I don't think this is a bad long. Let me look at the 15. So let's pay attention to see how the 3 minute closes here. We do have a tiny 3 minute right here. So I would have to move my stop to break even really quickly on this if it inverses. But to me, it looks like that could potentially drive us back up to this 3 minute fair value gap here. So the trade would look like this. So the stop is rather big on this. The take profit would be at this 3 minute fair value gap, or you can leave your runner up to the 1 minute inside of this wick, right? That comes right here. So potential buy side here. Label this buy side liquidity. And then potential buy side up here as well. If we want to sweep all the LRLR, then we'll come all the way back up to highs. But so far you can see we're getting a big rejection on the 3. Let me look at the 1 quick. Look at the 2. So this 2 minute doesn't look bad, guys. I'm not going to lie, to the downside. However, we did already sweep liquidity. My guess is that it still works down to midnight. So this 2 minute candle closes at 10:52. So we still have 2 minutes and basically a minute now until the candle close. But in theory, I think this should work if this closes below down to midnight. So it's not a terrible scalp. Yeah, that looks pretty darn good, guys. We're rejecting from a 3 minute. Oh, that looks so good. What do you guys think? Should we scalp it with 1 to midnight? From here, the take profit would be $60 for one MNQ. That's wild. Let's see if the candle closes below, guys. Okay, guys, I'm gonna try it. Again, take profit will be at midnight opening price. As soon as this low gets hit again, guys, I'm moving my stop to break even. Okay, my stop is at break even now. If it's gonna go, it should just go right now. Do not want to see it come back to my entry. So this is like a very high risk scalp, and I'll probably get stopped out on it. Again, only one micro contract, guys. But I do think that this low should get hit now, and we should go to midnight opening price. So if your stop is not a break even now, it definitely should be, guys, because this could easily reverse. Just letting you know. Tristan, I learned something from the other day. I'm glad, bro. What was the concept? Okay, I think I'm gonna take this. All right, there we go. So that's a $50 win with one micro. That's pretty crazy. So $50 for this 50K funded account. Again, guys, not the size that I normally trade with. However, this was super high risk, and I'm trying to grow this funded account. It's a new funded account to 52,600. So I'm trading with MNQ. So good job if you guys took that. Again, it was higher risk. We were in discount, but I like the fact that we were delivering from a bearish 3-minute. We got a 2-minute inverse. Midnight was right below. Sell side liquidity. If this 1-minute inverses now, or this 2-minute, then this will probably be a nice trade. Stop to break even at this high, and then you could target upside targets. So entry would be somewhere around here. And then I would like to target higher targets. Tristan, I'm guessing you learned how to lose money? No, I'm just kidding, guys. But I'd love to hear what concepts you or whatever ideas, principles, tiny little things you were able to learn or discover or whatever. Oh, no. All-time high went 2 standard deviations from the 701 swing low and the 801 swing high. For sure, bro. So guys, when you're at all-time highs, I think this is what Tristan's talking about. When you're at all-time highs, just look at the previous consolidation leg, like the consolidation before distribution, and it'll give you price targets for where the market is likely to go. Typically, the 1.5 to 2.5 standard deviations are like the most likely profit targets. And then 3.5 and 4.5 are like the ultimate profit targets if it's truly a full-blown bullish distribution leg. If it's not, then sometimes it will reject from the 2, which is maybe what happened in the case that Tristan's talking about. But a lot of the times, the standard deviations are really good when we're trading at all-time highs. So yeah, guys, it looks like, I mean, I took my profits pretty quick. It looks like we're probably going to go back and fill this gap now. But anything can happen, right? Yeah, and I'm actually happy. Tristan's saying he didn't take the trade off of it, guys. I I think it's so good when you have a model or you have enough conviction in your own plays where you're not just like blindly taking something that somebody's taking on a stream, you know? Especially if you don't know the model and you haven't back tested it, you don't know that it works, you haven't watched enough to see it, then yeah, for sure, definitely don't be taking that stuff. But yeah, once I'm sure when Tristan sees this working time and time again, when he draws out the Fibonacci's from a consolidation leg at all-time highs and he sees how accurate they are, then he'll start incorporating it into his models. Maybe he doesn't just blindly long and hope that a 2.5 or a 2 standard deviation hits, but he uses an inverse for value gap or a new day opening gap, which is what he said he likes to use. Maybe he uses that in conjunction with the standard deviation to take a long up to the 2. Also cool to see we made that run after sweeping the 7 o'clock low. Do 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 do. What are you talking? Oh, you're talking about the turtle soup? Let me look at something here, guys. This was actually really good. I wasn't awake for this, guys. I'm moving to Texas soon, most likely, to Austin, because trading, bro, never mind. Trading NQ and having to wake up at 5:30 for Red Folder News and 6 a.m. It's a struggle, bro. So having the extra 2 or 3 hours moving to Texas is gonna really help. Also, the cost of living. I mean, not that it really matters that much, but I want to be able to either buy a house cash in Austin or just have like a lower monthly payment for mortgages than I would in LA. Like I would have to put probably between 2 and 300K down for a house that I'd want to buy here versus the same house in Austin. I'd probably have to put 60 to 70K down. So it'd be a lot better of a deal. If I was to buy it with a mortgage. If it was to buy it cash, I'm not dropping $1 million on a home here. Absolutely not. It's going to take too much capital out of my ability to sell options. So, yeah, no way I'm doing that. But, damn, big pimpin'. My first house I'm buying, a duplex without a doubt. I'm in the search one right now. What state, Tristan, are you looking at? Because I'm looking at duplexes too, but to rent out. Oh, Missouri, that's nice, bro. Aren't there, I mean, I might be completely off, but isn't there quite a bit of, like, tornadoes? Quite a few tornadoes in Missouri? Maybe I'm tweaking. I know in Texas there's quite a few tornadoes and, like, the snow can be a problem, but I think Austin and Dallas are better. Meh. I want one to rent hack. Decent amount this year. Yeah, bro, but definitely, I mean, cost-wise, Missouri is definitely affordable. Okay, guys, so look how we're filling the gap that I just told you guys about. All right, we just filled the gap. Now, I mean, there's no respect for any bullish PD arrays here, which tells me that we're probably just going to dump all the way back to this low. Maybe we come down and rebalance a lot of this today. Definitely possible, but not trying to front run anything. But yeah, guys, I already took a trade today. It was a decent scalp on a funded account. So unless I see something A plus, I'm not gonna take anything personally. But let me delete all these lines now because they're not really part of the trading anymore. That sell side got filled. We do have a new week opening gap down here, guys. Keep that in mind. Did this disappear on the hourly? No, it didn't. So we have a new week opening gap here that we could potentially come back and touch. But nothing to the upside here looks good either. I need to see more legs of price. This is why Missouri is nice, even though it's boring. It's so cheap here. Yeah, unfortunately, bro, the states where there's nothing to do and end up being a lot cheaper. But Then again, like Austin, Texas, for example, Austin's a booming city, but people still in California claim there's nothing to do there. People that have never been there are like, oh yeah, there's something to do in Texas. I mean, LA and Austin are probably pretty similar as far as things to do. I mean, the nice thing about Cali is that we have beaches here that you can go to in a second. Austin, it takes a minute to get to any beaches. Um, but also, yeah, the weather is really good in Cali. That's why it's so desirable here in LA. But it's definitely pricey, bro. Like if I wanted to get a nice studio apartment in one of the luxury condos, guys, I'm also I love a deal. Okay, I love a deal. So when I see like these luxury condos, I mean, fine, I can afford $3,500 a month, but do I really want to throw $3,500 a month into renting when I could put it um into my own mortgage? Yeah, probably not. I live in Springfield. Like Springfield from wait, is The Simpsons Springfield, Ohio or Springfield, Missouri? I think it's Ohio. I live in Springfield. The only thing to do here is avoid homeless people and getting shot. Oh my god. Yeah, bro. I mean, there's also a shit ton of homeless people here in LA. So, bro, if you go to LA in the city, even like, so I have a friend who does his business is repairing gyms, and he has a cheaper office in like a shopping complex in Reseda, which is like kind of like a more ghetto area near Los Angeles. It's in the valley, and the dudes like you see all those videos of the homeless people that are on shit. What's that stuff called? It makes you like a zombie and you lean over, like you're literally just like leaning over like this. Ugh, I forget the name of the drug. But like literally outside of his office space, there are homeless people like that, and people are paying top dollar for properties here. It's just wild. But yeah, I think The Simpsons is Springfield, Ohio. But it's just crazy. Like the homeless problem is getting worse and worse. I have faith now that Elon and Trump are in, and Vivek and Doge and all that. But hopefully it changes. It's just Gavin Newsom, bro. He's a problem. One of them was mad because I had to kick him out of my store. Bro said, one paycheck and you'll be like me. Oh my god, that's so funny. Bro, these homeless they're smart. I guess they're pretty quick witted, but they're just addicted to drugs. So one one missed paycheck and you'll be like me. That's hilarious. Oh my god. Oh, all right, guys. So this is where I would honestly like to have the 30-second chart. I'm guessing that there's some kind of a nice 30-second inverse fair value gap here that we're testing it and that we're now going to move to balance this 1 minute. That's what my guess is here. We're in a macro time. Um, but we'll see what happens here. Dude, let's go. AMD is dumping 125. So again, guys, I'm going to post this for those who maybe are just tuning in. I normally don't tell you guys what stocks I'm looking to add for the long term. However, AMD is what I'm going to reveal here. I normally just keep this in the Discord. Again, if you're in the Discord, guys, if you go over to the stock ads section, you'll see the things that I am adding. Hopefully you didn't see anything there. But AMD is definitely something that I'm looking at for the long term. Primarily, I want to see it sweep sell-side liquidity at 125. And if we're able to get into this monthly fair value gap here, you can see it, it's tiny. It's paired with an order block. This is kind of like a unicorn entry if you use ICT models. It's like a breaker block with a fair value gap. This is a good optimal trade entry for long. So if we can get to 116 on AMD, I will start adding a lot more heavily to this position. They're like Nvidia competitors, but they are worth 203 billion, even being down. What are they down now? Over 40%, I'm guessing, from all-time highs. 44%. So down here would put us at a 40, almost a 50% discount on the stock. Also buying. Actually, I'm not going to reveal that, but I've talked about it before. It's also a semiconductor play, and it starts with the letter A. You guys can try and do your own research to find out what it is. So if this 3-minute inverses, I know it's not the most pretty IFEG, but if it does inverse, I think we're going to come back up to this high right here. Why? Because it also pairs up with this 1-minute fair value gap. So if you guys are looking for like a quick scalp play, this looks pretty good to me. So your stop would be a close back below on the 3. Take profit would be at this 1-minute high. But only again if we inverse the 3-minute. So far we have not even come close. So also, again, guys, most of the time you're going to lose when the draw on liquidity is wrong. So right now, again, guys, I took a short in discount of the range with as a scalp because I believed that high time frame liquidity was bearish, and obviously I was correct. And I still think that we will probably go lower here. However, this gap has been filled now, so I would be a lot more cautious about taking shorts. So that's why I'm looking for a potential intraday inverse back up to the upside. And especially if this 2-minute inverses, guys, we'll definitely go back up to the internal buy side. So you can take an early entry here if you want, but your stop would need to go to break even very quick because this 2-minute could be the bearish PD rate to bring us back down. But if it closes above, then there's really nothing holding us until this 1-minute buy side. Let's take a look at some other stocks because there's nothing really going on here. What is RH again? This is something I was looking for a swing trade, but I completely forgot what it is. Oh, Restoration Hardware, that's right. See what the biggest winners and the biggest losers are. AMD is our biggest loser today. Dude, so many people are looking at this HIM stock. Not even going to touch that with a 10-foot pole, personally. Baba. Okay, guys, this is another swing I'm looking at. Again, I normally don't post these on live streams, but because you guys are here, we'll do it. There's, I think that Disney is going to go up to this internal buy side here at 126.48. So if we're able to trade back into this weekly fair value gap, I'm going to take a long. And my stop loss is going to be somewhere around here. Take profit is going to be at the internal buy side here around 126. Maybe we'll keep the stop a little bit lower just to get the RR better. But I think this should deliver us to the 126 level on Disney. So I'll alert that in the Discord when I take it. But yeah. Okay, guys, so this looks decent. Turtle soup. We are now in discount of the leg of the general range. We almost filled the gap, not quite. And we're getting a decent bullish reaction. Let me see if there's any high time frame FEGs. So on the hourly, guys, you can see we filled the hourly gap. We wicked down. Yeah, so I think this is a decent spot for reversal. Not 100%, but again, if we're able to inverse the 3, then I think this is not a bad trade. Stop to break even at this high or at this 2-minute fair value gap, whichever one you're comfortable with. But I think the 3 is fine just to hold up to this high. And then I would take my profits at this high right here. There is a tiny 1-minute that got inversed here, but Not a huge fan of that yet, because this just could be like a little consolidation to just continue us down, never hitting any of these highs. Guys, is anybody still trading today? Or are you guys all done? Because as you know, we've had one winner today. Personally, I would really be done if you are in a funded account. I'm maybe willing to take one more scalp, but I really would prefer, honestly, guys, if this 2-minute inverses. If this can close above, then I think that we're going back to this high. So that's probably what I'll wait for. We also have a 5-minute here that could also potentially inverse. So yeah, this actually looks pretty good for a potential reversal back to this internal high. But we have to see how we react out of this 5-minute. So what would be really optimal, guys, is if we got a 5-minute, a 2-minute, and a 3-minute close above this last fair value gap here. That would definitely signal to me at minimum that this 1-minute high is going to hit. So now we have a potential change in market structure. We made a higher high here after making lower lows. We turtle souped. We filled the gap. So this does look pretty good to me, I'm not going to lie. But I would like to see the 2-minute closed above, the 3-minute closed above, and the 5-minute. And then we could take our long up to this internal buy side. But until this happens, it's probably best to stay out, in my opinion. You can see here that we are immediately rejecting from the 3-minute. Very bearish reaction there. But if we can close above it again on the 5-minute, I'll take this long up to this buy side. I can't wait, guys, until we get a stream where there's like a super significant sell side liquidity that just completely gets smoked, and we can get like a full-blown reversal play. I think 3 weeks ago, I made like 1,200 or 1,800 bucks on stream on a full reversal play with 3 NQ contracts. That was a good day, but I'm very excited to see when that happens again. Tristan, I just shorted the top of the 3. Risky business, bro. See, this is where me and Tristan have differing opinions on these trades. Like, I would never, especially this low, never short a 3-minute from there. But Tristan did it, and he got a win, so good for you. Again, I would never take that on a funded account personally, but again, if it works for your model, it works for your model. But I've seen this happen too many times where this gets smoked. But as long as your stop is, fairly tight, then it shouldn't be a problem. As long as you have discipline and you don't overtrade. We one tick the 1059 candle high at 50% of the opening gap. Yeah, I guess so. I don't use the opening gap, but so we do have okay, so this is a self-derived concept, but we do have a weekly level here on QQQ. Not going to go into detail about this model, this trading model that I use, but I use it as confluence for my NQ trades. If we get an immediate bullish reaction out of this weekly level, then I would expect a retracement into this 1-minute fair value gap. But we will see what happens when we get there, if we even get there. Sometimes it'll move before that weekly level gets swept, so we'll see. This 1-minute looks pretty good, but we're not delivering from anything A+. I mean, we did sweep this liquidity already, so it should work at least up to this high, but not something that I'm going to take. I'm going to wait for the 5-minute to close above this to then target this intraday high. Now, hopefully, there is a tiny 1-minute fair value gap here. I'm hoping that the 5-minute is able to close above that as well, because that will tell me that this high is going to be next. But I'm not gonna lie, this looks super good. Again, we never got the close above So I could never take it, but oops. So that's interesting. NQ has a, oh no, they both have a tiny 1 minute gap here. Wow, so very bullish reaction here, guys. It tells me that this 1 minute fair value gap is very likely to hit now. If I was to buy 2 here, take profit at the 1 minute, it's going to be a $163 win. Not too shabby, but I'm going to take it with 1. Again, if we get the 5 minute close above. If we don't, guys, then I'm not taking anything. But this 5 minute inversing here will be a great signal for me. And I'd like to see the 2 minute gets taken out as well at the same time. If it does, then I know that market structure is pretty much officially shifted and that we should go up to the next internal high. This 5 minute candle closes at 11:20, which is 3 minutes away, 2 minutes and a half actually. Yeah, guys, this looks super good. I don't know if we're going to get an entry here. So we've got 2 minutes left. So hopefully it holds in this area, but my guess is that it probably just pushes here. We do, again, have a tiny 1 minute FEG right here that we could reject from. Tiny, tiny, but nonetheless, I still take these into account. Can see if we get an immediate bearish reaction from it, which it looks like we are right now. But if we can close above this, guys, and the 5 minute and the 2 minute, then I'll take this long up to internal buy side. Stop loss would have to be a close back below here. Okay, we got 1 minute, guys, until the 5 minute closes above the 2 minute and the 1 minute. So it looks like I'm probably not going to get a fill here, unfortunately, but let's see. But I'm not going to lie, this looks super good for upside trading. Super good. The next PD raid that needs to be filled is right here. This 5 minute looks so good, guys. And I'll tell you if I'm in. Again, I want to see it close on the 5 minute above the 1 minute as well. And I am officially in, guys, right now. Gonna keep it pretty tight here. I want my take profit to get filled. I don't want to see it really retrace much here. But stop loss will be a close back below the 5 on the 5 minute. And your stop to break even should be at this high. Okay, that might be my cleaning lady. So if you guys see me leave the room for a second, it's because of her, but this should take us back up to this 1 minute FEG. You guys can see a full-blown change in market structure. Why is this happening? It's trying to stop out longs or fill an unbalanced PD array. So that is why I'm looking for this 1 minute to get filled. Okay, I'll be right back. Let me check if she's here or not. I don't know if I'm missing her. If I can't hear her, 1 second. Alright, she is not here. So in this case, guys, I mean, maybe you wanted to wait for a retracement. That's fine. But I still do think that it should work. Ugh, this dog. Hold on, guys. So what's probably happening here is we're coming back to rebalance a 5. But this looks really bullish to me. At minimum, maybe we'll move our stop to break even at the order block here. But we'll see what happens. Yeah, or a potential 2 or 1 minute OB could be one of those. Oh, yeah. There is a 2 minute OB here, but I still do think this should come back to balance this 1 minute. What could potentially happen here is we come down and wick. So my stop again, guys, is going to be a close back below the 5 minute, which the low of the 5 is right here. But I think this is coming back to balance this, and then maybe we get a rejection from there. But Tristan is right. There is a 2 minute order block here, but we do have unbalanced price action within the 2 minute order block, which tells me we're likely to go up here. Especially because we swept liquidity, we filled the gap. Tells me we're probably going to get a retracement into there. Oh, I think I heard the knock. Hold on. No, I guess not. Okay, so let's see how this 1 minute behaves here. So we do have a tiny 1 minute FEG, which we could reject from. I'd like to see this push back above, but again, if the 5 minute closes below, I will exit the position. So I'd love to see a bullish reaction out of this 1 minute fair value gap. Take profit for me, K, is going to be this 1 minute fair value gap that's unbalanced here. So you guys can see that my sell is at the bottom of the fair value gap. So I'm hoping to see a strong reaction here, create an order block to then come up. If you guys want to take your profits here, if it gets to there, you're welcome to. I'm going to wait for the 1 minute, and my stop will be moved to break even when this high hits. Or I'm sorry, when this high hits. If I get it. If not, it is what it is. But I like the bullish reaction out of this 1 minute, but it has to hold, obviously. So the 1 minute BISI is a balanced price range because it overlaps the SIBI, right? Which SIBI are you talking about? The 3 minute? Right here, this is considered a BPR because the BISI overlaps the SIBI. Yes, in theory. But yeah, I do not like this, obviously, but we are allowing for this. Ideally, we do not want to see this close below. If we get a 5-minute close below here, where there's 4 minutes left on the candle, so either I get hard stopped here, or this holds and we go higher. There is another 1 minute fair value gap here that we could potentially be bouncing out of, but need to see a huge bullish reaction here. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's going to happen, but we'll see. Yeah, this is the last line in the sand, guys. If this 1 minute closes below, then we're cooked, but I still think there's a chance. What I'd like to see is this just be a huge wick and then us come back up. 3 minutes left on this candle, so we need to see this be a wick, and then we need to see a huge bullish reaction here. We did not want to see this body close below the 5. Okay, so I like that it's holding so far. You can see we're wicking, so this is one of two things, guys. If this gets a full red candle close, I'm obviously out of the trade. But what I think is maybe happening here is that we're just rebalancing price. We're stopping out some longs, and then we'll reverse up to this 1 minute, then potentially go back to a higher zone. But we'll see what happens here. 1 minute left until the 5-minute close. So again, guys, if the body closes below this 5-minute, I'm out of the trade. And I'm looking at NQ. If it closes below an MNQ and not NQ, I'll stay in the trade. 30 seconds. Ugh, it looks like it's not gonna hold. Let's see. So it's funny. MNQ is right at the low and NQ is not. It's slightly higher. Wow, NQ saved it, guys. Look at this. I mean, I think, wait, that's MNQ. Look at NQ. We held the 5 minutes. So I'm still going to be in this trade, guys. My stop is going to be a hard stop here, where it is right now. So I think this is revealing to us that it'll probably work, but let's see. Let's see. Yeah, the 1 minute looks a lot more promising now based on the 1 minute candle here. If you guys see, it's looking pretty darn bullish. But let's see what happens. So again, guys, my TP is going to be up here. That was a pretty anxiety-inducing trade. Now, guys, I think I'll probably, if this candle closes above the body of this candle, I'll move my stop to these two bodies lows because it should not go lower than that. Yeah, guys, so now that that low is hit, I'm going to move my stop to here. Don't want to see it trade back anymore. I'd rather reduce my risk, but this should push here to the 1 minute high, if I had to guess. But you guys see here now, the market structure should, if we're going to go up here, we should not come back and close below the bodies of these two candles. We shouldn't even come down at all. We shouldn't even come below like right here. This is a 1 minute fair value gap. So I just want to see this completely push here. Man, that was a tough trade for sure. But now we know our solid risk on the play. It'll be about a $65 loss if it loses. But again, I don't think it will. And stop to break even will be once this high hits. So obviously now it looks like my entry's not great, but we should come back and balance this one now. If you guys are really risk averse, when this high hits, you can move your stop to break even and just get stopped out on the trade. I am going to hold mine up to this high. And if it reverses on me, so be it. So I'm going to draw this out so you guys can see this high right here. Once that hits, my stop will be moved to break even. And if I get stopped out, I get stopped out. So again, I haven't released my hand from the button. I'm just holding it until the stop hits. I mean, the stop to break even hits. And okay, so not quite yet. Wow, it's just going to reject here. Okay, wow, what a trade. You guys see how the 5 minute held? Like, that's wild. I mean, honestly, I should have waited for a retracement, but my model just tells me to enter, so. Okay, guys, so my stop is at break even here. If I get stopped out, I get stopped out. But I think that this should hit. If you guys want to take your profits at the 2 minute high, you can do so. I am just letting it run. Because I think if the 2 minute's going to hit, then the 1 minute should hit as well. So again, if you want to take your profits at this 2 minute FVG, you can. Again, I'm just going to wait for the 1 personally. You guys see how no matter what amount of money I'm trading with, this is a 1 MNQ contract, okay? Like literally the smallest amount of money you can possibly trade with. But my process still stays the same. Okay, so there's a full TP. So my process still stays the same. I manage the trade. It's all about the process. I don't care about the money. You guys have to realize I do not give a crap about the money. Obviously, I want to make money, but when I say that, I mean I don't care about making money on the trade. That's not the primary concern. The primary concern is the process. Is the trade model efficient? Is it accurate? Am I following the trading plan? That's the most important thing. And if you guys do that, the money will follow. Obviously, money is important. I'm not saying like, I don't care if I make $80 or $8,000. Obviously, it's nice to make 8,000 versus 80 or whatever the case may be. But if you guys follow a trading model and you focus on the model itself and the process and manage your risk correctly, the money will come eventually, okay? This trade works, I would probably say 75 to 80% of the time. We swept liquidity, we inversed a 5 minute fair value gap. MNQ closed below, but I don't use MNQ. That's another lesson, guys. I use NQ to manage my trade, okay? NQ never closed below on the 5 minute. You guys see here the bodies held the 5 minute fair value gap, therefore I stayed in the trade, and we got the immediate bullish reaction. So I'm going to make a note in my trading journal that on a day like this, price came all the way down and balanced the 5, which I knew because I've seen this happen before, but I'd want to see the 5 minute hold. And if so, then we will see the trading model work to the next 1 minute high or 1 minute unbalanced PD array. So I think that's it, guys. I'm done for today. That was two wins. And yeah. So I guess what we can do now, before I get off the charts, we can see what happens in this 1 minute, right? So now we can study. This 1 minute is an unbalanced PD array. So if we can close above this, what's going to happen next? Are we going to hit this high and reject? Are we going to hit this PD array and reject? Are we going to go to the next internal buy side? So many things to study here. What do you think? It will not go all the way high? Maybe it might K, but I'd rather take the most likely take profit, which you can see here. We came back up to the 1 minute and we rejected. So I've seen this 1 minute for value gap reject in this situation quite a few times. So I'm willing to take my profit here and just not worry about the rest of the day. But if this 1 minute inverses, then we should probably go back to the top of this 1 minute PD array at minimum, but probably back to this internal buy side. But you guys can see once the 1 minute hit, we immediately rejected. So doesn't mean it's not going to go higher, because now if you look on the 5 minute, we are technically forming a 5 minute order block. So if it's trading down to here, we'll probably come back and balance this 5 minute fair value gap. But we also have a 5 minute bearish PD right here, a bearish order block that we could be rejecting from to go lower to take out the hourly sell side down here. But who knows at this point, right? Again, my job is not to predict where the market's going to go. I use my ability to read candlesticks to take profits at the most likely spot. And again, today I'm not 100% confident with where we're going to run, so I'd rather just take profits at the areas where I know price is likely to hit, rather than holding and hoping for this to inverse. And you guys can see that once look at this, my take profit got hit by a tick and we dumped. So again, this comes with years of looking at the charts, guys. I know a lot of what I'm saying might be complicated, or like, how do you know that this is going to be a likely reversal spot? Years of screen time. This structure of a 1 minute fair value gap here tells me we're very likely to potentially reverse. So I'd rather just book my profits and be done than try and predict on a day where I'm not 100% confident on where the high time frame draw is, right? I don't know if we're going to go lower here. I don't know if we're going to go higher. All my job is to take my profits at the most likely spot. So I hope that makes sense. But yeah, guys, I think that's going to be it. If there is anything else, again, I will call it in the live alert section. So this is where I call IFEG plays in the Discord if they happen in a timely manner. And yeah, once my AMD and Disney swing trades hit, I will alert the Discord too if you guys want to enter those long. And yeah, so we'll go from there. But I wish you guys the best. Have a great weekend too. And I'll see you guys next week. And yeah. All right, guys. Peace out. K, Tristan, I'm O, J.